Today I'm going to be talking about the controversial death of Rayshard Brooks, the man who assaulted two police officers, disarmed one, and then tried to tase another, which would have given him access to the other officer's lethal. So officers got a call that a drunk man was holding up the drive-thru in Wendy's, so they obviously came to investigate. They found the man in his car in the parking lot, and they obviously tried to talk to him. He was clearly pretty hammered, so they had him get out of the car and they started talking to him. They asked him how drunk he was. He just said he ate margaritas. He said he was still in fully control. He said he could drive. So they got the breathalyzer test, because, that's what you do. That's protocol. So they gave him the breathalyzer test. Now, in Atlanta, you have to be under, you have to be around 0.08 in order to be, allowed to drive while you're drunk. When they gave him the breathalyzer test, he pulled a .108. That's hammered, that is hammered drunk, so they obviously can't let him drive while he's hammered drunk. Now, he actually told them that he wanted to drive. His house was 6 blocks away. He just wanted to go home. So, obviously they have two options here. They can either detain him and take him home and have a tow truck at the car, or they can detain him and drive him to the police station. Either way, they're going to detain him. So they go behind him and they try to put the handcuffs on him. They're trying to detain him to help him, and as soon as they are almost done with the handcuffs on him, he hits both of them. He tries to run, so they obviously try to tase him. They want to put the handcuffs on him. They're just trying to help him. Then he turns around, tackles both of them, starts beating one of the officers. Another officer tries to pull him off. He elbows them. Then he disarms another of their taser. He punches that officer in the face. He stands up. He tries to run. So the other officer tries to tase him. So he deploys his taser. One pong hits him. The other pong misses. So it wasn't effective. The man kept running away, so now you have an armed, crazy drunk man in a parking lot full of civilians. So the officer tries to chase him. The man turns around, points the taser at him, and he may have fired it. But either way, if he would have landed a taser shot, then you got a downed officer, two downed officers with now a crazy drunk man who has access to another officer's lethal. So the officer really only has two options here. He can either, shoot him, or pepper spray him in the foot. There you go, pepper spray the man in the foot. So he takes his gun out and he fires 3 rounds into him, which from some reports, I think only 2 of them were actually fatal, which doesn't matter. It's a gun. So the officers really didn't have much of a choice. I keep saying, if you don't want to fight with officers, maybe when they're trying to detain you, especially if they're trying to help you, don't fight them. Maybe you should actually comply with the officers and obey the law. Now, people keep defending him, saying it was an innocent man. This guy was in prison for 7 years for beating his children. He just got let out due to COVID. So it's not exactly like he's a good man. He was also, hammered drunk on the night of his daughter's birthday party, which, that's how you should celebrate your daughter's birthday. Yeah, congrats, man. You're such a good father. And then they actually had the family come on, make statements about him, but they're like, he's an unarmed black man. If a person randomly came up to me and started beating me in the street and then proceeded to tase me, that's assault with a weapon. Okay? The same exact laws apply to police, just it's assaulting an officer with a weapon or beating an officer. So they're also protected by the law, if you were wondering. So you can't exactly commit a crime against an officer and get away with it. That doesn't mean they're above the law. That means if you commit a crime to an officer, it is the same as committing a crime to a person. It is still a crime. So obviously, this is sort of sad. I guess he shouldn't have, obviously tried to assault 2 officers. He shouldn't have been drunk on the night of his daughter's birthday, and he shouldn't have beat his kids. A very controversial topic. I hear some people saying, oh, it's only a taser. Tasers hurt when they actually work. I know people who've grown up and, joined the police force. You have to get pepper sprayed and tased, and of the two, they always say tasing hurts significantly worse. It hurts bad, so it's still a weapon. Even then, it doesn't have to be like a gun to be a weapon. I don't think people don't get that. If you would have grabbed a metal pipe, that is your weapon. That is a weapon. Since you were trying to use it to hurt somebody, that is your weapon. You are using an object as a weapon. Same as if you would use a taser, which is already a weapon, but now you are using it as an actual weapon against an officer which you just beat and disarmed it from. So obviously he was in the wrong. I don't know why he didn't just let them detain him. They were, you know, only had two options: take him to the police station or take him home. So either way, they're going to help the guy. Like, people just need to start listening to the police more so they don't actually have to use force against you. Like, all these cases, you know, the victim, quote unquote, is clearly resisting arrest and fighting the police. Like, if you don't want to get fought by the police, maybe you should actually listen to them. Like, other countries have even more strict police force, and they don't have much crime, because guess what? People are scared of the police. That's how it should be. You shouldn't want to break the law. I guess this is TF2 fan, one exact shots logging off. Peace out.